you know what? Even the toughest topic, we managed to pin the tail on the donkey, don't we? Hello and welcome back to the Croak and Crow podcast. I am Spencer Cardia.
And I am a lady in waiting.
Okay. And this is Frank, who's looking extravagant. Any reason for the outfit choice there?
Frank is getting ready for Fat Tuesday.
Okay. Oh, a little Mardi Gras starting early.
Right. So
when is that?
February 16th.
Okay.
And today is February something.
And that also starts in Lent, correct?
Yeah, Fat Tuesday.
Wednesday,
right.
Wednesday begins.
It's the
Ash Wednesday.
It's the last hurrah before 40 days of sacrifice.
Okay, so he's going for the whole 12 days.
Yeah.
Forget 12 days of Christmas. He's going 12 days of hurrah.
Well, in Trinidad, Carnival is the same difference as Mardi Gras. And
that's a week, right?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, it's the same difference that it's the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. But they start partying at Christmas.
Oh.
So this whole time, well,
party the whole year.
Not because of COVID now.
Yeah. But I'm sure they're still partying over there.
But normally all the fetes, parties, events are happening all this time leading up to.
Okay.
So I think Frank's been going to some masquerades.
His flight to Trinidad got canceled because of COVID. So but he's not letting that stop him.
No.
But hey, we're partying too because it's Friday.
Yep.
I got another Candesani. I'm going to drink it the traditional way this time.
Regular way.
Or am I?
No. Oh, God.
Yeah, but it's Friday. Another week of podcasting.
Yeah.
It's weird to crack a water.
I know.
You're
so having pinky up, SpongeBob.
It just tastes wrong.
That's funny. It's like so funny.
Drinking water with a straw. It's just some things you don't do.
Weird. Just out of habit, you're saying.
Just out of habit. You know, us humans, we get used to things.
Yeah.
It's neither here nor there. Today is episode 56.
Yes.
Is 56 special in any way? Like the number?
Not that it doesn't. I can't think of things that nothing pops in my mind.
Only thing, it's one of the first times tables I learned was 7 times 8 equals. My cousin Bridget. I don't know if you remember this or if you're watching, but it's funny because you know how kids they use things to remember times tables. This had nothing to do with anything except she would go 7 times 8 equals 56. And in reality, you can do that with anything.
Yeah.
7 times 7 equals 49. But it was something about
that's funny.
7 times 8 equals 56. Maybe that like there was more to it, and that's just what I picked up.
Yeah,
but
it worked.
One of my first times tables, 7 times 8. All you kids on your math tests, you're welcome. You'll use that.
Times tables are terrible, aren't they?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I love math. I love times tables. My favorite was back in elementary school when you'd get the sheets and the time to fill them out. Oh man, I was like, that to me was better than sports.
No,
I was a dork.
That's not. No, it's not dorky. But also, it's not as easy for everybody.
I liked it.
I wasn't really good at the memorizing.
Yeah. But, hey, not everyone is. Everyone has their strengths. That's why today we're talking about...
Okay, it's not a strength. It's suspicious.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Suspicious?
Suspicious.
But, like, that's... Anything more to it, or we're just keeping it broad?
Keeping it broad. I'm trying to think what made me think of suspicious. And
you always stump me. Every time I'm like, okay, I kind of get a feel for what you're going to say, even if it's hard to talk about. But then suspicious. Okay.
Listen, these days I hear people saying like, that's sus, that's sus.
That's sus.
Are they saying are they saying that for suspicious?
Yeah, it's a little nickname for, not nickname, a shortened version of suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
But it's even like, it's more, you know, when there is like slang words, it doesn't even still mean it. Like,
right.
When something's sus, it's like that's sus, man. Like, you're acting a certain type of way.
Like it's not just suspicious. Like you've decided that
it's like, yeah, it's because you know how suspicious isn't really not an insult, but like not something like, oh,
right.
man, that's suspicious. It's like it's more of
it's a question.
It's more of an adjective. Like you're being sus.
Yeah.
Where like you're being suspicious.
Right.
I don't know if like they mean the exact same thing, but it's the same
and
idea.
Isn't there? What's the game? Is that
Among Us?
And what's that?
That's these astronauts and you're on board of a spacecraft and there's I don't know like 8 people. You go around doing tasks and one person is the imposter and they try to kill everyone without anyone knowing.
Okay.
And you have these meetings throughout and you need to figure out the imposter. And so that's where like it blew up of like, oh, Red's being sus. Red was acting sus. And it was like, because maybe he was creeping, maybe he was following you. It's all suspicious behavior.
So yeah, it's a very suspicious game.
Yeah.
How do you play that on?
You play it on the phone or
it's just
on the
like
computer.
An
Yeah,
app?
It's a simple game.
It's a simple game. That's sus. Yeah, because I don't know. It's just I can't remember why I thought it, but I thought it. I'll say it. We did it. And suspicious also. You should be suspicious, I guess, if you want to be like streetwise and stuff. But is it Christian to be suspicious of people? But I'll let you just.
This is one of these words.
I'll just let you figure it out.
There's types of words that we use that I hate saying too much because it gets weird in my head.
Okay.
Suspicious.
Well, stop.
Sorry. Should we be suspicious? That is a really good question. I think in the homes episode, or what the building houses, gingerbread, whatever you wanted to call that podcast, we talked about unhoused people.
Mm-hmm.
And would that be like, I have a suspicion that they're going to spend like the money you give to homeless or to unhoused people on drugs or on alcohol. Is that then your own suspicion unchristian?
Right.
I don't know. Should they have, but like, is this being suspicious unchristian? I think it is. In a way. Yeah. No, you know what? I think it is.
Then aren't you just a little lamb walking down the street and trusting that everyone has your best interest at heart?
It's tough, you know? If you look at the Good Samaritan story, obviously the guy needed help and what's it called? The end is be like the Samaritan, be like the Samaritan. If you look into the history or into the story of that trek between towns, it was a very dangerous path. The same way that man got robbed and hurt. It was a common occurrence, especially for people who look wounded. You go to help them. 3 of their boys.
Yeah, it could have been a setup.
I don't know if I would have stopped.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally imagine you're driving through a terrible neighborhood in Philadelphia. We live in Philadelphia. Driving through a terrible neighborhood in Philadelphia. 3 a.m. in the morning. And then there's someone who comes up to your window and it's like, help me, I need help. There's a lot of people who are Christian and will do good who will say, this is a little suspicious. I don't want to do it. Now, those people are the ones that are also not going to get robbed. So the question is, where do we draw the line?
Right.
Like, it's a valid question. I don't think it has an answer. I think you will call someone, oh, that was so great of you to still help that person, like, because nobody else would. You see it when girls like get out of a situation, or guys, and they're knocking on doors and they might have blood on them, and like people are like, shut the blinds, kids, like there's a crazy person outside, and the person who opens the door, they're a hero. They're labeled, look what you did, like, when nobody else would answer the door, and then years later they reconnect. Oh my God, you're so crazy.
I forgot your stories go on and on.
And then their kids become friends.
Yeah.
No, but then you have the alternate where a bloody person knocks on your door, and then you open the door, hello, and you get popped one time in the nose, and everyone in your life will be like, why'd you open the door?
And aren't you wasting? Okay, so if you're suspicious, if you're getting a feeling that I have a suspicion something's not right, aren't you wasting that gift that is allowing you to preemptively protect yourself? If you just say, no, that's labeling, that's judging.
But, well, yeah, wait, I don't know what you're saying.
If you're saying, suspicion is not Christian. I'm saying
I take it back.
Oh,
I take it
I was
back.
saying, is it wrong of you to deny a feeling that you're having?
No, it's good, and I think it comes from somewhere. I feel like I'm just gonna make an argument on every side of this case because that's the point.
Okay.
Because
then people can pick one.
Yeah, you can like suspicion doesn't have to be a bad thing. Like you could see a child with a man and be suspicious of something. Like I'm getting a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and you do something. It turns out that child did not belong to that man, and then it's like, oh, you acted on that suspicion, and that was good, and so I guess in a way, to go back to the other thing of if someone does knock on your window in a bad neighborhood, it is that suspicion, if you want to call it, a sixth sense maybe, something that tells you the difference of there's something going on here, and whether that means act or run, maybe it's good to be suspicious.
Yeah,
it's a heightened sense that who knows where it comes from. Maybe it's just a extra adrenaline in your brain. Maybe it's something from the high above. But I guess if you're in tune with your suspicion, you can pick up on things and then act on them accordingly and not make the wrong choice of fight or flight.
It kind of brings me back to your questions yesterday, which were like, how do I know when, I'm hearing my own thoughts and when I'm hearing God's thoughts? And like with suspicion, it's like, how do I know when I'm really picking up something suspicious, or I've been conditioned to think that that's suspicious. Yeah. In the Bible, there's a character, there's a person, there's a guy, there's a guy, Nicodemo, I think, isn't it? Nicodemus. And half the people think he was good, and half the people think he was suspicious. And he was high ranking with whoever, the Pharisees, I don't know. Yeah. And he's supposed to be against Jesus, but he's actually for Jesus, but he's not too public about it. He kind of sticks up for Jesus a little bit, like subtly. And then after Jesus dies, he helps him get buried. So some people say like, oh, like he's a hero because look at this. Like he went against his own. And other people are like, it's kind of suspicious because he didn't actually come out. Yeah. That's just one character, but I'm guessing that to give them, benefit of the doubt, the people who were against Jesus, they're probably just suspicious. Someone is walking around saying, I am the Son of God. Yeah, especially, there are religious, like people think the more religious you were, but God's here. The more religious you were, the more you probably were suspicious. Right. People who met him without any, oh wow, look at these miracles, blah, blah, blah. Of course, you're the Messiah. Right. But the more you know, the more you're like, right. The Bible told me to watch out. Like, like, I'm suspicious. Right. Oh, you're saying you are, or you're just? No, I'm being that person. You're being that person. I went back. I was in the year 12 right there, 12 AD. Yeah. Is it good to be suspicious? Is it bad? These are questions I don't know if I have the answer for. You said 12 AD, and that reminded me that you know this already. I'm sure I knew it, but I forgot it, and then I relearned it, which is what I just do over and over again, like Dory. That atheists or non-Christians do not like BC as before Christ, so they do BCE before the Common Era. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, same number. I think it's letters. I think it's more. I think it's pretty widespread, like in scholarly work and stuff. Okay. Now, I mean, because I went to a Christian school, and in my art history classes, we were in papers and stuff. We were writing BCE. Okay. I think it's just sort of. I'm trying to appease more universal. Masses. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. So suspicious. I'm not even sure of the definition. Is it always something bad? I have a suspicion. Could you be like, I'm suspicious you're gonna have a surprise party for me? No, yeah, like definitely. I'm pulling out the phone. I'm doing it. I don't know. I just know that it could probably be used for bullying because it's a feeling that you have without any proof. Like you just said, the man with the child, like I think it's suspicious that he is a preschool teacher, something like that,
Having or showing a cautious distrust of someone or something.
Oh, so
it is
distrust.
He was suspicious of her motives, causing one to have the idea or impression that something or someone is questionable, dishonest, or dangerous.
So it's bad. It's
a distrust. So I don't trust this situation. So it's not like it can say like dishonest is bad. You're not being honest.
There's more than meets the eye with this.
Yeah, it's something's off here.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't all what I think it is. You know, when you walk into a place and you're like, I'm about to get jumped. It's like there's people that are just looking a little suspicious.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and she just did a Instagram live. And I don't know if you were watching the whole thing, but there was a part in it where she said she went to the corner store near the Capitol.
Yeah.
And there was nothing. No one pushed her to the box of cereal. Nobody overspoke loudly, in a threatening way. But she was like, I was very suspicious of the vibes going on in that store. But
so, yeah, I mean,
I have a feeling that after this podcast, he's going to say, what was up with the topic?
No, I'm not mad at the topic because it's a good question.
And also, I was wondering, haven't you, preacher man, been counseling viewers that maybe they should? No, I don't know if you say they should be suspicious of their own past.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
You tell them to question. I don't know. I guess you haven't gone that far to say don't trust, but you were like, feel free to make a healthy evaluation of when people tell you about religion and when people tell you this is right, this is wrong, do this, don't do this.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think it's good. Final answer? Not fine. Definitely not fine. I'm gonna flip flop 6 more times in this podcast. But yeah, I mean, if you look at like beware of false prophets.
Yeah.
The way to beware of false prophets is to be suspicious.
Yeah.
Of everyone who speaks.
Right.
I mean, if you look at the like doubting Thomas, obviously, doubting Thomas, he didn't believe.
Who was more suspicious than he?
Who was more suspicious? And I think
he's like, you look like Jesus, you sound like Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, you should be dead.
So, I mean, did Jesus say, "How dare you question me"? No. Mm-mm. He said, "No. Touch my hand."
Mm-hmm.
And then his suspicion went away.
Right.
So I think if suspicion was a bad, like, oh, you should just trust wholeheartedly, then you would get people believing anything.
Yeah.
He would have attacked Thomas there and said, "You are no follower of mine." Final answer. Be suspicious.
That was quick. That was quick. He said, "I'm gonna think about it."
Yeah.
Back and forth, but I don't know if you can.
There's a word you put in front of suspicion sometimes. A healthy suspicion.
I was thinking sneaky.
A sneaky. See, this is 2 sides of the aisle right here. Yeah, I think you can have a healthy suspicion on something.
Okay.
Where you can get these vibes, and like AOC, she had a suspicion something was going on, but did she whip out her nunchucks and start? And then everyone's like, "What's going on?" No, she was just like, "Okay, let me get out of the situation."
Right.
Blah blah. Thomas, he had a healthy suspicion because up to his entire life, he has not seen someone come back to life.
Right.
And he didn't obviously want someone impersonating Jesus. And
right.
then as soon as Jesus showed him, it is me. He didn't say, "I still don't buy it."
Yeah, it's still a little sus. I don't know.
JC's still a little sus. So yeah, no, it's good to have a healthy suspicion. It keeps you from being. Yeah, you know what? The more I think about it, I'm not flipping again.
Okay.
I think people should have a healthy suspicion of things, especially in religion. Because otherwise, you want to be a sheep to one person, and that's God, because he's leading you the right way. Anyone else, you should. It's good to have a healthy suspicion so that you're not led off a cliff. Like
Right.
so many people are saying so many things, and especially nowadays with anything can go out on the internet and stuff, and you see it. Like you see it with old people and and stuff where they get fooled because of their trust, and it's so sad because it's like they have this purity and it's like of believing things at face value, and it gets them burned. Doesn't mean you can't like, oh, we're all distrustful. No, have a healthy suspicion, and then you make choices of what you can trust and that. But you don't want to just be led blindly.
No, and you can look for. I think in the Bible, he kind of does say what you're supposed to, what you'll notice about the Antichrist. Not physically, like 666 or something. It was something like, you'll be able to tell because. Yeah,
and I think humans are suspicious people, and I think it's one of the hard things about spirituality where Jesus said like time and time again, like put your full trust in me, like with the water and stuff. Peter was suspicious that he was going to fall, like that it wasn't going to work, and it's like that's our defense mechanism. It's what made us get this far. Is to I'm not going to fall in water. I'm a little suspicious. It might be wet, but the one thing that we shouldn't be suspicious in is our faith, and anything that's around that we should be, because if it's like pulling us away,
right?
If someone else told Peter, "Come walk on this water,"
right,
he might be suspicious of that, and but
yeah, I guess if you keep God first, okay, I'm going to put God first. I'm going to trust Him implicitly. Obviously, not be suspicious. But whoever is His mouthpiece, whoever is His messenger, the person between you and whoever the pastor is, or the leader, or the speaker, you have to learn to separate like a full total surrender to God.
Yeah.
But these people who like give their kids to the church, or they give all their money, you should learn.
Yeah, no, and I said this before. You brought up earlier of where I said, I think you made it a little extreme where I said,
I did.
Don't trust anyone who talks to you. They're all wrong. No, but one of the things I've said in earlier podcasts is the great thing about religion is that, full faith in God, but the bad thing, like its worst part of it is that when you have people in charge, humans, of people who are looking to give their full faith, you can manipulate them.
Yeah.
And you can trick them into, oh yeah, like this is what God would want. And when you're ready to give that full trust. And so it is good to have a healthy suspicion.
Yeah.
To anything on earth.
Yeah, because, the person is opening their heart to God. And then that makes you open your heart to the universe.
Yeah.
Because we say like we're all God's creations and we're all connected. We're all brothers and sisters. So you see God in everyone, and you see that, we were all made as His children. You still have to protect yourself.
You got to protect yourself. You got to put on that armor of God, as they say.
That's right.
The shield of God.
But what happens if someone's suspicious of you? And you're like, what do you do?
Is someone suspicious of you?
Yeah.
Like in what regard?
I don't know. They're whispering about me.
I always hate that. Like anytime I'm at a store, I'm not that suspicious of a fella. I mean, who is? I think, nobody should be just deemed by look as suspicious. But when I'm walking in the store, because I hate like looking suspicious.
I know.
And like if I'm like going to pick up a candy bar, like I like hold it up, and then like as I'm putting it down, if I'm not going to buy it, I like place it, because it's like
isn't it crazy?
And I have no intention on stealing it. I'm more suspicious going through my normal day than like a thief is who is stealing candy bars. He like doesn't care. I'm there like, it's just so everyone knows I did pick this up, and I am putting it back down.
I went into the dollar store and I had to mail something. And I wanted to get an envelope, but I wanted to see if the thing would fit in the envelope. So I brought the thing with me into the store. Yeah, and I felt like that. Like
that's the worst. My dad used to always send me to Home Depot, and it's a very normal place to do this where it's like, I need this part.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go in with it. And I always hated it because I'm like, they're going to see me holding a part that I'm not going to pay for. I don't want to be suspicious.
Yeah.
So I feel the pain of people who are accused of being suspicious.
Yeah, I know.
Because nobody wants that.
No.
But what do you do?
What do you do?
Just not be so suspicious.
No, that's not fair.
That's not fair.
Like you said.
Yeah.
I guess like any other accusation, unfounded accusation that people have against you,
Turn the other cheek.
Ignore it.
Yeah.
And let them learn. Like I talked yesterday to you about people who can't hear what you're saying or can't see who you are. You can't really, you've seen comedy type shows where like the person, like the woman thinks the person's going to get them, and then
everything they do makes it worse.
Like, and then they're like, hi,
They're gonna start chasing them down to tell them that like, oh,
yeah,
I just wanted to say hi. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you just let them learn on their own.
Yeah. No, turn the other cheek. Live your life by example. If you're not a suspicious person, then live your life accordingly. And anyone who thinks otherwise ain't worth your time.
Yeah. But if you really do put yourself back in the gospel times, the BCBG, whatever, no, that would not be BC, right? Because he would have been born.
I think it was when he died.
Before Christ.
I don't know. I have no idea. When's 0?
That's when he was born.
Well, I thought it was when he died.
No, that was 33.
Okay.
If
I guess, because how could BC if he was alive? Yeah, you're right. Duh.
If you put yourselves back in that time, like we know now the whole story and all the witnesses and all the miracles and all the accounts and how it continued on miraculously for 2,000 years. But if you're back there, the whole thing was suspicious, don't you think? These 12 guys hanging out and...
No, yeah, what's funny? I can't speak for the show whatsoever. I watched 2 episodes. I forget even what it's called. It was on Netflix, maybe. Did I even watch it? I think it was called Messiah.
Okay.
But it was modern day, and there was this guy who like started out in Syria, and it was like I said, I watched 2 episodes, and he was like, this all loving, he was kind, just normal human.
Why didn't
being.
you watch all of it?
I think I started watching a different show.
Okay.
Maybe Sabrina the
No,
Teenage Witch.
I thought you didn't like it or something.
No, but and then like people like wanted him for something, like they were trying to track him down and arrest him for inciting a riot or I don't know. But like then he just like showed up in America, and how did he get here? It didn't, nothing about the show is what I'm about to talk about, but it made me think, and it was so interesting watching of like, stop thinking, oh Jesus, I'll like no brainer. I'm following him.
Mm-hmm.
Like Fisher of Men, sign me up, Captain. Imagine, and it showed you that of like if this did happen now, and how suspicious everyone would be, and how much opposition. We talked about like some like fundamentalist of religions where it's like, this is the way it is.
Right.
And you got to know, I'm not saying all of them. Sure, some people may be able to see through it, but there'd be a lot of people saying,
yeah, this
is a false prophet.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe it. It's black magic what he's doing. This is the Antichrist. And so it's important to remember that and to not demonize everyone in the Bible back then, where it's like, it took a lot to fully, and so you should put up the disciples and the people who did trust fully.
Yeah.
But understand that was not the easy road.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's a hard one. Because
it's a hard one.
You always hear trust.
Trustful.
But then there's suspicion.
Which is the opposite of trust.
Yeah.
I trust you. I'm suspicious of you. They're opposites, but yet we're saying they're both good.
Well, everything...
Yin yang?
Yeah, maybe.
Can we?
Yeah.
Yeah, yin yang.
Yeah.
Trust and suspicion.
Because all I was going to say
trust should have a little bit of suspicion.
Balance. Yeah.
Suspicion should have a little bit of trust.
Yeah.
Trust in humans. Trust in people.
Yeah.
Like in those regards of, we figured it out. Trust
I knew that would happen.
Trust and suspicion. It's like a yin yang. You can't have one without the other.
Trustspition.
It's all about balance. You don't want to be too suspicious
Right.
of things in the world. But you don't want to have full trust and then be led astray.
Right.
No, you know what? Even the toughest topic, we managed to pin the tail on the donkey, don't we?
We worked through it.
We worked. It brings a tear to your eye.
I was clearing my throat.
We
worked through it. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Well, guys, let us know what you think. Is it okay to be suspicious? Is there healthy suspicion?
Right.
Is there a place to draw the line? Yeah, let us know in the comments down below. It is Friday, so stay inside because it's a pandemic and have some fun. Crack open a nice cold Dasani. Throw on a Messiah. I don't know. I can't vouch for it, so don't say I sent you. But we will be back on Sunday
you will be back.
I will be back. You will be behind the scenes producing for a Christian meme review. And then we'll be back next week with 3 fresh topics hot off the oven.
Closer and closer to Carnival.
Yeah, and who knows what Frank's getting into tonight. Probably something crazy. Any final thoughts?
No.
All right. Peace. Cheers.